Welcome to Your Magnetic Purpose. This season, we're cutting through creative blocks, working with your influence, not against it, using systems like human design, astrology, and everything in between as a tool and not a rule. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Your Magnetic Purpose. I am your host, Ashley Hood, and this episode is part 3 of our 9-part series of the Human Design Centers. And today, we're going to be talking about the most misunderstood and emotionally charged and high-stakes center in the whole chart. We're talking about the Solar Plexus. This is your emotional body. It's not just about feelings, it's about clarity. It's about intimacy, art, boundaries, and the fear of rejection, and whether or not you can be trusted with your own emotional truth. This center does not play nice, it doesn't always make sense, and it absolutely does not give you clarity in the moment. Which is why so many people ignore it or just override it. And then they get stuck people-pleasing, overcommitting, and having those emotional hangovers, or they are in emotionally dead-end relationships. So if you've ever said yes and regretted it, if you've ever needed to be alone before you could really feel what's real, or if you've ever thought, why can't I just make a damn decision? This episode is for you. The solar plexus is your emotional wave center. It sits on the right side of your chart, just a little above the sacral, and is responsible for emotions, moods, intimacy, empathy, and creativity. It is your nervous system regulation. It's also a motor, meaning it creates energy. And it's a place for inner authority of many people. Almost 50% of the population are emotionally authoritative. But here's the twist. The solar plexus doesn't do clarity in the now. It does clarity over time. This is the emotional wave. If you are emotionally defined, this center is your authority, and it is your job to wait. You're not meant to make big decisions from a high or a low. You're here to wait the wave out and to level out to a neutral state. And from there, that's where your truth emerges. If you're emotionally undefined, you feel everybody else's emotional wave, and you're here to observe, not absorb. Know what's yours and what is somebody else's emotional wave. We're all learning how to be emotionally intelligent as humans, so let's be gentle, but don't BS yourself either. If you have a defined solar plexus, you are emotionally defined. You create emotional energy and you ride waves. Sometimes you're on a high and everything is beautiful and electric. And then sometimes you're on a low and everything sucks and you want to disappear, kind of like a crab retreating back into its shell or the hermit in tarot. You need time for introspection before making big life decisions. And that's not a problem. That is your rhythm. You are not meant to be emotionally stable. You are here to feel, to find clarity only after your wave levels out. If you force decisions at the peak or in the valley of your emotional wave, you will end up overcommitted, overwhelmed, and emotionally hungover. You will low-key resent everything that you should have waited on. People might experience you as moody or unpredictable, and that's fine. You're not here to perform. You're here to embody emotional truth, not fake emotional consistency. If you have an undefined solar plexus, you are emotionally open. Ra, the founder of Human Design, said that where we are open, we are gifted and intuitive. Because we are open, we are not consistent in that energy, and you're really here to witness and enjoy that energy as a bystander. Since you're open, you don't ride your own wave, but you amplify everybody else's. This can make you emotionally intuitive, incredibly perceptive, but also hypersensitive and avoidant, or even just downright codependent. When you were a kid, you probably felt the room before you even entered it. You may have learned to keep the peace or suppress your own truth just to avoid conflict. But guess what? Avoiding discomfort doesn't equal clarity, and not everyone else's emotional energy belongs to you. Your wisdom comes when you stop trying to fix or absorb and just witness. Emotional neutrality isn't just your baseline, it is your goal. Now, let's break down the 7 gates of the solar plexus. These are emotional themes that shape how your nervous system processes intimacy, vulnerability, and creative expression. Let's start with gate 6, the gate of conflict. This is the boundaries gate. It decides, do we connect or not? It is the peacemaker and it loves conflict resolution. Defined, you need emotional safety just to open up. You're kind of sensitive AF. Undefined, you might avoid conflict at all costs or poke just to see if you feel something. Gate 22, the gate of openness. This gate brings moodiness, charm, and deep emotional expression. It is the grace that you offer yourself and others. If it's defined, when you're in the mood, you captivate. When you're not, you cannot fake it. If it's undefined, you may try and force likability or feel emotionally shut down. Gate 36, the gate of crisis, the gate that craves emotional drama, either good or bad. The gate is all about being human. If you have it defined, you learn through intensity and chaos, and then you transform. If it's undefined, you may jump into messy experiences just to feel alive or avoid risk completely. Gate 37, the gate of friendship. This gate wants emotional closeness and softness and community. You hold your community together through your family bonds. Becoming a boundary master is key for this gate, though. If it's defined, you hold people, you stabilize relationships. If it's undefined, you may sacrifice your needs just to keep the group happy. And then gate 49, the gate of principles. This gate is about emotional values and where we draw the line. It's about being a leader in relationships and leading a revolution by the principles you hold so dearly. If you have it defined, you and someone crosses your boundaries, you will burn everything to the ground. If it's undefined, you may struggle with guilt, people pleasing, or the fear of rejection. Gate 55, the gate of spirit or abundance. This is deep melancholy and creative energy. It's faith and darkness that rebirths new creativity within. And it is the beauty that is brought into this world. If you have it defined, you need to ride the waves and then express it, either through music, art, or feelings. If it's undefined, you might think your moods mean something wrong. They don't. Let them move through you. Gate 30, the gate of recognition of feelings. This gate is emotionally hungry. It's craving closeness and it wants it so badly it almost hurts. If you have it defined, you feel your desires in your bones, but can you handle the ride? If it's undefined, be careful not to chase the high just to avoid emptiness that you might be feeling. Now, generators and manifesting generators. If you are emotionally defined, you still need to wait for clarity. Your sacral may say yes, but don't act until the wave calms. If you're undefined, you may say yes just to avoid disappointing people. Your sacral response is powerful, but is not the full story when you're riding the wave. For projectors, you're deeply empathetic, especially with an undefined solar plexus. Watch out for over-identifying with other people's emotions or trying to fix them. Wait for the invitation and emotional clarity. Boundaries are not mean, they are your medicine. Manifestors, you are here to initiate, but not impulsively. A defined solar plexus, inform once you are emotionally clear and not before. Undefined, you'll absorb the emotional noise around you and retreat when needed. Time alone is non-negotiable for emotional clarity. And then reflectors. You reflect the entire emotional ecosystem of your environment. You must give yourself time. A lunar cycle is your calm, clarity curve. If you are in an emotionally volatile environment, your clarity is going to be distorted. Protect your emotional field like it's sacred, because it is. This isn't about managing emotions, it's about respecting them. So why not try asking yourself, am I clear or am I just uncomfortable? Is this my emotions or somebody else's? What happens if I don't respond right away? Ride the wave, journal without editing, and let it be messy. Don't over-explain yourself while you're emotional. Let the waves settle. Use your creative expressions like art, music, and movement to discard any feelings that are uncomfortable in the moment. Don't try and force decisions from emotional highs or lows. Don't say yes just to avoid disappointing people. And don't call it intuition if it's actually anxiety. Emotional depth is not a weakness, it is intelligence, but you have to stop expecting clarity to be instant. Your nervous system is not a light switch, it's a tide. It comes in and it goes out. And if you can learn to respect your wave, you'll stop breaking promises to yourself. So wait, breathe, and let the truth rise after the storm passes. This is not avoidance, this is emotional mastery. If you're enjoying this series about the human design centers, head over to yourmagneticpurpose.com and book a live reading where we can dive deep into your own specific chart and how this is showing up for you. Until next time, I am your host, Ashley Hood. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next episode. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to like, share, and subscribe wherever you stream your podcast. For more resources and tools to explore human design, tarot, and astrology, head over to yourmagneticpurpose.com and book a live one-on-one reading or download your free chart. Remember, the more that you align with your purpose, the more opportunities you attract.